What's going on, boys? It is day number 11 of reading through the book of Job. We are going to be looking at a kind of short chapter that kind of covers the response of a man by the name of Zophar. Now, Zophar is one of the three friends that was mentioned back in chapter 2 that was a part of this, brotherhood that came together after Job had lost everything, and these men, set off and left their homes and decided to come and comfort Job and have these conversations with him about, what he was feeling, about what he still believed, and, how he felt that he should, continue on with, what he had been facing. So I have three different areas that I want to cover for today. The first one is going to be Zophar kind of talking about the kind of the power of God and how we, can't fathom the power of God, how his power is just so unimaginable. He says in verse 8, says, "They are higher than the heavens above. What can you do? They are deeper than the depths below. What can you know?" So, mankind, there's just some things that mankind's just not meant to understand about heaven and higher. And that's just another way of saying that, the power of God is so vast that we cannot physically understand what that means as, humans. We're supposed to, understand, each other, but we don't understand the Almighty, the one who created us and the one who is, doing all these things that make the world go around. And there's things that, he does that's just like, what? Like, that doesn't make sense, or things that he says or puts into just action. And to us, it looks like a completely different thing. But for him, it probably looks like something, completely, another thing. And the interesting part about this is that, we are often, filled with so much, confusion, and excuse my dog. We, will often, beat ourselves up so much as Job is doing, and, tell ourselves, well, if this doesn't happen, that means, that's not true. Well, why can't I understand this? Why can't I understand why God has done this? Why can I not physically understand why these things have happened to me? But Zophar makes a very, revival of this later on in verses 13 through 15, where he says, "Yet if you devote your heart to him and stretch out your hands to him, if you put away the sin that is in your hand and allow no evil to dwell in the tent, then, free of fault, you will lift up your face. You will stand firm without fear." And he actually continues on in the next few couple of verses, kind of just saying some more great, powerful things that we should be doing as far as, how to, managing our emotions that help us deal with things like with fear and troubles and sin. And also things like, with, dealing with not being afraid, and helping to manage, our rest and our safety. So, Zophar does a really great job of really kind of putting this into a picture of how we should be, putting our faith in him, putting our full trust in him, and reminding ourselves that because of him, we have very, very great things. We have so many great opportunities and, principles to take care of. And there's going to be times where, we're going to look at this and we're going to be like, what? Like, this is not the way it was supposed to, to go. Like, I don't understand. Like, why is this not going in the way that I thought I was going to go? And again, excuse my dog. We are so challenged with these challenges that we often, again, we beat ourselves up, and we look at Job here, and he's just beating himself up, just, being filled with this negative energy. And Zophar finishes off with verse 20 with this great interesting point. Hey, come here. Come here. She's crazy right now. But he says, "But the eyes of the wicked will fail, and escape will elude them. Their hope will become a dying gasp." So, the foolish will cease to ever achieve a connection with the Almighty because they fail to see that God is powerful and that he can do great things. So understanding that will really help us to, paint this picture that, if we are filled with this, belief that, we know how everything works, then we're going to see these things fail, and our eyes are going to fail to see what's true. And that's a really great way that, Zophar says here is that, we have to look at the world through him and trust in him, because he is the one who created all things and will make things go right. And that is where we will end off for today. My dog is going crazy right now. She's going off pace. I hope you guys had a great week. I hope you can see you guys tomorrow. Peace out, boys.